Welcome to the Game of Gymnastics podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Today we have got a guest that I've known for a very long time. Been training with you for 10, 11 years now or something?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'll let you do the rest of the introductions, but here we have Gabriel Langton.
Gabriel Langton, as Winston said, been training with you since, however long.
I think it was 2013.
So
11 years.
Yeah, at City of Birmingham. I'm 17.
What have you done in the sport?
I think my biggest achievement would be winning the team competition at the European Championships in Rimini a couple months ago. Also, 5-time European Championships medalist, 2 with the team, 3 individual medals, and then a couple national titles as well. So,
so
not too bad.
You've got quite the portfolio.
Yeah, some would say.
Some would definitely say.
Yeah.
So you're also the only person. You realised this the other day. You're the only person in our club that's won rings medal at any major competition.
Yeah, it feels quite stupid considering no strength to my routine. Just when you've got Azai, Joe Camden Jones, Joe Fraser.
Yeah.
But me, people.
Just clean. You just get the execution. That's all you need, really.
Do my job.
Yeah.
Not an execution.
It's good. It's big. It's very big. But you've not always been. Well, you've never been a ring specialist.
No.
What are your specialties?
I would say I've never thought of myself as a specialist. Really, I've thought of myself as an all-around gymnast. Although I've been better at some pieces, like better on parallel bars, and I don't know, I've been up there with some pieces, like maybe horizontal bar. Some people say
can say high bar.
High bar.
You don't have to be overly technical.
Okay. Yeah.
This is for gymnasts.
Yeah. High bar. I always thought my weakness was pommel, but which I would say it is, but I don't know. I think I have the skills. I just never put it in a routine. But I don't think I'm a specialist. I think I'm an all-around gymnast that's got on a few pieces.
I would say so too.
Yeah.
I would say so too. Like, everyone's got their weaknesses, everyone's got their strengths. And I'd say you play to your strengths.
Yeah.
And most of the time that is execution.
Yeah.
I say most of the time.
Yeah.
Junior Euros, that was very much you at your best, just smashing out routines.
No, I know I could do
it. Was 14 out of 14 clean routines or something like that. How many was it? Because you did all around twice and then you did 2 finals. Yeah. 14 clean routines out of 14. That's incredible consistency.
And that's exactly what you were saying about execution. There's a time and a place for pushing bigger routines, like maybe comps towards the end of the year, out of competition season. But European Championships, obviously the routines had to be difficult because that's what you need to get medals at those championships. But doing routines, you can do. I was confident with them, and I kind of knew going into it that, I had in my mind I was going to do a job there. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It shows that when you're at these big competitions, it's not always about chucking the biggest difficulty.
Exactly.
You have to focus on your execution, doing it well.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said for doing an easy routine well, building your confidence that way, and then you can start building up the difficulty.
Yeah. That's that's what I'm trying to do now, because I've stuck with these easy routines somewhat because setback with my back, it kind of halted the me getting the difficulty with the new skills. But also the routines that I had, which the routines that I did at 2024 at Rimini, I pretty much did the exact same routines at 2022, the 5-way at the end of the year. So it was routines that I'd done for so long, and if you know you can do them well, then and still get a solid score, then yeah, I mean, it's just finding the balance, I think.
Yeah, it's finding the balance of difficulty execution. Exactly. If you've got a new skill that you want to put in, you can always put it in, but you got to weigh up what you're gaining from it, what you're losing from it.
Yeah.
And it's not only just the skill value and the deductions you would get from it, it's what else you could put in the routine as a compromise that you would get you like no deductions. Like it's better to do a B with no deductions than a D with 3/10.
Yeah.
And you got to weigh that up whenever you're putting stuff into a routine. And I think you do that quite well.
Yeah, well, partly me, partly Lee.
Partly Lee, yeah. For sure. But you can't be expected to do everything.
No.
So, yeah. For sure. So, obviously, I mean, for us, obviously, we've just done the British Teams Championships.
Yeah.
What sort of new stuff did you put in for that? I can think of one.
So I had the plan of putting in more new stuff, but various not setbacks. Yeah,
I would say setbacks.
Yeah, type of thing, setbacks. So like with struggling with training just after Euros, slightly with my mind and slightly with my body. Like I would have loved to have done double on floor. Would have loved to try compete 2.5 Ks, but back injury stopped that from happening. And I mean, every piece there was stuff that I would have liked to do: pommels, putting in flops, putting in different type of travel like a woo, a rough, double on rings. Trying to push for Hummer on P bars, but. Managed to get Kovac out there, which I don't know. It was a great feeling because just looking at when you're like 5 or something, when looking at the TV watching gymnastics and you see a Kovac, it's a skill that you're like, I want to do that when I'm older. So yeah, it was nice to do that. Obviously, British teams, the routine's what I initially wanted them to do, but that was still positive to take. Like doing the Kovac, it was. It was a big thing for me. So
yeah, 100%. You've done really well to even put that into the routine with everything that went on. Like your wrist was bad, your back was bad, everything was just going wrong for you, but you still managed to put a lot in.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that. And yes, you've not done everything that you wanted to do, but you had. How long was it between Euros and British teams?
6 weeks.
So you were trying to do new skills in a routine 6 weeks after Euros.
Yeah.
And with like a week off, basically not doing training.
Yeah.
So more like 5 weeks after a week off.
And taking time for the prep as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been a big challenge.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah.
And the thing is with this sport is that you can't expect yourself to be able to do all that sort of stuff. Like I wanted to do the biggest routines ever for British teams. I wanted to do my full routines.
Yeah.
8 weeks after I'd been out of a cast at British teams.
Yeah.
Which wasn't going to I wanted to do 4 pieces in all fairness, and I managed to do 5.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, rings was the piece I can do. Yeah. But yeah, like all things considered, I did do pretty well for the circumstances I was in. And you have to think about the circumstances you were in. Like your back was hurting during Euros. When did your wrist start to hurt? Like was it just after?
After Euros, yeah.
Yeah. And you still managed to compete. You still managed to put clean routines out there. Managed to do clean rings, very clean P bars, clean high bar. Like you fell on pommel, but I think I saw you do maybe 1 clean pommel routine in the entire prep, which was 3 weeks before the comp. Like it wasn't you didn't give yourself much time.
Yeah.
And,
I think, that was partly, like I said about my mind being a bit like frazzled after Euros. It was just like a bit of like motivation struggling, but it was so weird, like concentration. I found it hard. It was kind of like I was up here for Euros. and coming down, it affected my motivation, but with the, like, it was concentration as well. I was trying to go for skills, but then something would just tell me no. And I had it with the routines as well. Like you said, did not very many clean pommel routines, not very many clean P-bar routines.
You didn't do many routines, just full stop.
No, yeah.
Because you just didn't have the prep time to do it.
Yeah, and it was slightly different circumstances. Well, different circumstances at a competition. I don't know if because I had like the ambitions for it, so I kind of zoned in a bit more, and I found it easier to concentrate. But I think I'm slowly on the road to getting back to where I kind of need to be doing better gymnastics, like I was, like where my mind was at before Euros, where I was just so like on it. It kind of went away a bit for the last couple weeks, but yeah, I think we're getting there again. And yeah, I don't know.
No, 100%. I get where you're at because I was in the same place like a year ago after Junior Worlds.
Yeah.
Like you've come out of a point where you've just been at it like relentlessly because you've had no other choice really.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you had to push so hard.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end of it and you're like, it's done now. So what's next?
Yeah, exactly. Dan said to me when I was on a session when I was getting angry, like on rings or something, he said, honestly, when you set your goals at the start of the year, the thing you wanted to do was Euros, and then after Euros, what goals did you actually have? And it made me look at it differently, like the goal was Euros.
Yeah.
So just slightly a bit lost in training, which I'm starting to get back now because it's different type of targets, but targets are still there, like especially for the rest of the year. Even though it's not competitions, I know a lot of skills that I need because, like you said about the execution, if I can add difficulty and then keep the execution up there, then obviously it'll make me a better gymnast going into next year. But yeah.
So like gaining skills, gaining consistency with those skills is just as important as the routine prep, as the build up to competition.
Yeah.
Because that's where you upgrade, that's where you put the difficulty in and where you gain the execution as well.
Yeah.
Like routine prep is where you gain the fitness and the resilience to get through the routines. But learning to do the skills, learning to do them well, learning to do them consistently is just as important.
Yeah.
Because you got to get there somehow. You can't just put a skill in that you haven't learned.
And then,
and expect it to work out.
Which is kind of what I was trying to do for British teams.
Yeah. And it just won't work because you won't get the consistency. And then if you don't have the consistency, when you start the routine prep, you won't be able to get through the routines. If you don't get through the routines, then you won't get the fitness, which is the point of the preparation.
Yeah.
And you won't get like the kinesthetic feeling of doing the routines as well. Yeah. So it's just as important. Yeah. So now that you've done Euros, now that you've come off this, you're going to have a little bit of time off. And then what's next?
So I think, like you said, I'll have a little bit of time off, but I mean, still back in the gym quite soon, back in the gym next week. Well, can I say like timestamps? I don't really.
You can say next week, that's fine.
Okay. But yeah, back in the gym next week, and I think that British teams was my last competition for the year. So yeah, like I said, the goal for the rest of the year now is to get new skills that I know are definitely achievable, but ones that I know will be helpful going into next year because I'm slightly unsure what's going to happen next year regarding if I go stay junior or if I go senior. It doesn't it changes less because it's 8 skills for seniors. But skills, so, and I've got skills that I'm working on every piece that I know will boost my score. If I get them clean, then I can know will definitely help me. So that's going to be the main goal for the rest of the year, and getting stronger is important, especially for rings, because, like you said, no strength for my routine right now. And the routine I'm doing now, I've pretty much been doing that same routine near enough for the last 4 years type of thing. So the only way I can really improve that now is by getting strength moves, which are high difficulty. And if I can get a couple more C's and D's in my rings routine, it'll help me a lot. So yeah, get stronger, get new skills, basically.
Cool. Yeah. So what sort of skills are you going for next year? What's like the most helpful things to learn for next code?
I think, rings, obviously, because there's such a lot that I can work on with strength, cross, multis, planche work, all different entries into them, I know can help me a lot. Going 4 attempts up on vault, it doesn't seem like a crazy amount, but considering so many comps are decided by like the attempts, well, every temp counts, and 4 attempts, when you think about it, actually is quite a big margin. I need to learn some upper arm on P-bar, because right now I'm counting an A for that. If I can get that up to a Honma, or go down the Zion route, do Dimitrenko type of thing.
Chuck a Harada.
Exactly. But I can vastly improve every piece, really. Pommels, I need to put flops in. I need to get a bigger shear, C shear, or do shear to handstand.
I would say D shear would be best for you.
Yeah.
Not just because of the fact that it's easier to get lower deductions on it, and it's worth more.
Yeah.
But also, if you learn that first, then you don't have to do the step of learning C shear first.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. But side travels, get flops in the routine, and then high bar. There's a couple releases that aren't in my routine yet, but I know that should be in for next year, like Coleman, Straight Kachev. Chinese Taipei guy, he does everything.
He
does the
he does everything.
Full thing.
I can't remember what that's called.
Yeah,
I've been told it, but it's just slipped my mind.
Yeah, he does that. Casino.
Yeah,
and he does straight shadow pike, but
and he does squat half Lucan as well. No, he does. Yeah, he does. He does squat half Lucan, straight straddle. He does casino.
So he doesn't do straight shadow pike. He does straight straddle.
Straight straddle. Then he does casino. Then he does squat full, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't it?
It's a mad routine, and I don't know how he gets through it.
But he's going to be finished the next code. But at the same time, when you're that good at gymnastics, you learn to adapt. You learn to adapt. And they've got 4 years. That's the good thing about it. 4 years to kind of change your ways.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's something that's going to change the game 100%. Mm-hmm. And because so many people don't do that already, and they do like multiple different types of releases, especially when the other ones are going up as well. So like Gaylord's going up to an E, and Ginger's going up to a D, Jaeger's going up to whatever it is, depending on what type of Jaeger you do. Yeah. So like straight Jaeger's going up to an E. So
Winkler?
Winkler's G next code. It's an F this code.
Jesus.
I know. It's going to be the same as Casino.
Yeah, it's mad.
And Def's the same as... What's Def the same as? I think it's an F, isn't it? Next code?
Yeah.
Next code is an F. Mm-hmm. But that's still huge. Same as Lucan.
Yeah.
I actually want to learn Lucan.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be cool.
Isn't it? It feels like an achievable skill.
Yeah, because my straight's not awful.
Yeah.
Like, I get enough height. It's just about being able to do it with a full twist.
Nah. Bit of time.
Yeah. Get squat off Lucan.
Yeah.
2/10 connection bonus. 1.2 and 2 skills. Decent.
I need to get squat off. I forgot squat off Lucan. Coleman. Straight Kachev.
Yeah, that's
I can
fine.
do that.
You're still fine, yeah?
Yeah. Steinman.
You could do a Kovac if you really wanted after that.
Nah.
Depends what you want to do.
I'll just go Steinman and get off the bar.
Yeah, that's true, actually, because then you got squat off Lucan, Coleman, straight, Steinemann,
giant,
and then dismount.
That's the routine.
That's a big routine, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could ride that for years and you'd be fine. Yeah, yeah. Like you'd be able to continue that for a while because it's high value.
Yeah,
you're getting a decent D score, but then
and if I can do that,
get it clean.
Yeah,
you're good. Honestly, you're good.
That's why Steinerman's good. It like fills up a lot of skills.
Yeah, and it's like CDC if you can get it piked out to handstand, stoop to handstand.
Yeah, and there's not really that many deductions you can get with it as well.
Exactly. Yeah, you just got to focus on the releases. Getting the squat off, consistently to handstand, or to slightly just past handstand, so you can get the release, the action right.
Yeah,
but like 100% think that's doable.
That's a good thing I think about the 8 skills as well. I don't know, it's
a lot of harder skills seem more doable.
Yeah,
when you've not got to do so many skills after them.
I don't know. It's like. You see it differently as a junior, and I don't know if this is just me, but that routine then, I think it's just because I'm used to seeing seniors, their routines, it's just like got so much to it just because of the 10 skills. Like I remember seeing Adam Tobin's routine on a high bar.
Ridiculous.
It feels like it goes on for ages, but that routine, 8 skills, it literally...
It's get on, get off. It's pretty quick. Yeah. I reckon you'd be all right to be able to like get all the way through that with a big dismount and then land it well.
Yeah.
And be okay, basically.
I think that is a good thing about 8 skills, but then again, everyone's going to be under the same thing. So it's not like it's just one specific person benefiting from it. It's everyone. But I think it'll be interesting. Scores will be a lot closer. All around closer than they are now.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, 100%. Which is scary to think of how close it is actually going to be and how much execution is also going to matter as well. Because you think about how much it matters now and it's like... It's the make or break.
Yeah.
And if you fall, you're done. Next code, if you fall, you're like actually out the competition.
Hadn't even thought of that. Apart from but not even Hashimoto's.
Because all the scores are going to be pushed together. That's what they've been doing with pretty much every piece. It's going to be.
And I wonder what what's going to be, because now how if Hashimoto scores 87, that's like an insane score. Everyone else, like if you're a really good gymnast, you're scoring 84, 85.
Yeah.
Hashimoto's scoring 87.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to be the next 87 when we go down to 8 skills.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because some juniors are scoring like 83.
Yeah.
Like the...
Who did that?
One of the Japanese Donnies.
Oh, right. Okay.
Fair enough. Angel Barajas scored 82.
What did Anthony get?
Anthony got 82. 82, yeah. So he was like 85.
Oh, no, he got 81.5.
81.5, yeah. I think Angel scored 82. So that's like...
Yeah.
That's one of the like the biggest things. The only reason I say 83 is because he scored 9 on pommel, scored 79 overall. Really? So 83 is possible.
Yeah. But then also those are juniors.
Yes, those are juniors, which is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like some juniors are scoring, like the best juniors are scoring like 14s on P-bars and like 14s on pommel. But it's not the same because seniors will be able to up that and score that on more pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
and like juniors, you don't have ring score that you would have as a senior as well.
Yeah. So I think the highest scores they're not gonna be as high. Mm-hmm. But they're going to be pretty good. They're going to be very high. They're still going to be like maybe 85. 86 would be like the absolute maximum, I reckon. Mm-hmm. But I think 85 is possible.
Yeah.
I think that's like that's the 87 of this year, next year.
It's crazy because now as a junior, the big thing is 80 for me and for a lot of the juniors in the squad.
As a senior, it's gonna be 80. Like it's like 80 is. I think 80 is a lot more of an achievement next to code, obviously. Mm-hmm. Same as any score, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think 80 is a good target as a senior.
Yeah.
I think.
But to think that to be the best, you have to squeeze out another 5 marks. Basically a mark a piece.
Yeah.
It's like it's motivating, but kind of scary at the same time.
Yeah, like knowing, like I've said this a couple of times, like thinking about what I was up against at Junior Worlds.
Junior Worlds, yeah.
Even people slightly younger than me, or even a lot younger than me, seeing what they were able to do and what they were able to score.
Yeah.
It's quite humbling knowing that that's possible, knowing that other people are able to do that.
But it is motivating at the same time.
100% it's motivating.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I match up against it? What can I get? Like, who can I beat? And how do I fit into this?
And it's not just in the gym as well. It's everywhere. Like, what changes can I make?
Yeah.
To feel better? Because if you want to get like it, because my goal is Olympic medal, and it's just every minimal change added up, it becomes a big change. So yeah, I mean, like you said, it's like when you see these things, like people doing this stupid gymnastics, like, first thing is like, Jesus Christ, how are you that much better than me? But then at the same time, it's like, I want to get back in the gym. I want to do these things because I know you're going to still be here in the next couple of years when, fingers crossed, I'll be at these big competitions, and I don't want to be like behind you. I want to be the first person on the podium. So yeah.
It gives you ideas, 100%. Exactly. Seeing all these big skills, all these people doing these amazing things. Yeah. Like, I think that's something that social media has helped gymnastics with, 100%, because you see all these people doing these huge skills, and like, I want to do that. And
it's something you hadn't even imagined.
It's something you hadn't imagined, and it's something that you might actually be really good at.
Yeah.
And you would never have known before you'd seen it, because you would never have tried it, because you would never have.
And you're just like used to.
You're used to
what the coach says and what people in your gym have done before you. Like, I don't know, it's very traditional to do a catch-up on bar.
Yeah.
But now people are exploring different things.
Like Sol.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing Gaylord.
He made a European final.
Yeah.
Like Sol's high bar routine, it was very unlike any other high bar routine in the final, but still up there.
Yeah.
And
he still did a job. He still did his job. Did he get through?
In
final?
Nah, final.
No, he fell out of final.
But he did it well.
But, I mean, he made it into the final, which is a huge achievement anyway.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of where you place.
Yeah. And just like, you see, what was it? The guy, I think he came second on Pommel at Tokyo, the Chinese Taipei guy. His routine wasn't like any others because his whole routine was
just flares,
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be less like that next code, but it is interesting how you can squeeze that tenth in your own way type of thing. Yeah, like you said, playing to your strengths.
Yeah, it's a very individual sport. Like, you decide how much you do. You decide what sort of things, how your routine goes. Yes, you have to play to the code, and yes, you have to do things that will get your score up, which is why so many skills are A, very similar in themselves, and B, also have the same sort of skills regardless of whether or not they are these weird and wacky routines that you see these people doing. Like, they have the same sort of base, which is, I think, what a lot of people start with, and then they build around that. Because you have to also think that
there's a reason
sort of like, there is a reason that people do these skills, because it's an average person, an average gymnast, I should say. We're not average people. An average gymnast will be able to do these skills well and clean. So basically all of them do. Some won't. When you get an injury for the first time, what's your first port of call? So say you've gone into the gym, say you're fully fit, which never happens in gymnastics, but say, for instance, you're fully fit and you feel, say, knee pain, and it's so bad that you can't do floor vault. What's the process you go through?
What, after
after the session, or like even during the session if you do anything for it, which I doubt you do, because you sort of just power through most of the time.
First thing is to always go to a physio, I would say. But what are you talking about, my emotions or?
Yeah, like all of it, like mentally, physically. What sort of things do you try and do? Do you just try and work around it? Do you try and like build back slowly, like despite what the physio says? Do you always go like physio's word is law, that sort of thing?
I think I don't know. I feel like it's different for different injuries. Like if it's a break, it's different because
I mean you can't do anything because you've been to the hospital and you're in a cast.
Yeah, no. But my mindset is kind of different when it comes to a break because it's kind of like, it's annoying, but I know if I just give it the rest that it kind of, I know it needs, then I know I'll be back to where I need to be eventually. But also I've never had like a major break. So what I'm talking about now is like when I fractured my thumb. It's just like I've never broke my ankle like you did or ever broke my arm or anything major. But when I broke my thumb, it was honestly, it didn't affect me too much. It annoyed me a lot because I had a comp coming up, which it took me out of. But in terms of like worry about the injury, it was different. But the main injury I've had is my back, which has just been like kind of an ongoing thing. And when I had it the first time, I don't know, it wasn't too bad. Like I had the rest and it was fine. But second time round, it was a bit worse and I was completely out of the gym, which kind of, at first, my motivation was gone, but I noticed the more time I had out of the gym, it was like, because when you're in the gym, sometimes you struggle and you're just like, this is a real challenge. I need a break. When you're out of the gym, there is that bit of period where you are really enjoying the time off, but it gets to a certain point where you're like, I need to be back in the gym now.
Yeah. For me, that's like a couple of days. Honestly, you when you're in the gym, you're like, I wish like I had a day off. Like, especially when you're really feeling it.
Yeah.
Like most days, I'm happy to be in the gym.
Yeah.
But then it gets to a certain point and you just get ridiculously tired. And yes, it happens. You do dip.
Yeah.
But then it only takes a couple of days of being out of the gym. Like, I miss this so much. I need to be back in. I need to be doing something.
You kind of don't know what to do because
you have so much time on your hands.
Yeah, innit? And it's annoying because you think, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you think if you have time out of the gym, you would be productive, but sometimes you just don't. You just do nothing. And it's like, I need to do something. And I know that when I'm in the gym, my time's being well spent.
Because at least in the gym, you're forced to do it. You're forced to be active.
It's just what you know. It's like you don't know any different in the gym.
You don't go to the gym, just stay on your phone for 4 hours.
Exactly.
But when you're at home...
There's expectations.
When you're at home, like, for you especially, like, you've got your specific places. You've got school, you've got gym, you've got home.
Yeah.
Home is for sleeping and, like, just random stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not for work. It's not for exercise, really.
Your mind's
like,
different.
you do a bit. You do a bit, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be nowhere near as focused as you are when you're in school and gym.
Exactly. I feel like it goes, school, I'm still even like
a
bit relaxed because it feels like it takes so much for the focus I have in the gym. It feels like I have to come down from that. So obviously I come down from it when I'm at home. And then obviously I need to focus in school, but it's still not as much as in gym because, I don't know, it's different in my mind. Like, If I focused as much in school as I did in gym, I'd probably be the best student.
That's what I've been thinking. Yeah. Like, you think if you put the amount of effort that you put into gymnastics into anything else, you'd be at the top of that, like 100%. The amount of work that we put in, because it's all we know, really.
Exactly.
Like a lot of gymnasts are the same. Like we're weird in the sense that we put so much into it, but like if you put that into anything else, you'd 100% be like the top of it.
It's just drilled into us, but it feels like it's kind of impossible to. It's not impossible, but sound like David Goggins, always on it. But I don't know. It's you do need the rest periods.
100%.
Just knowing when to be on it and when to kind of relax, finding the right balance with it.
Yeah, sometimes the rest period is like just as hard. As the actually doing it. Because you're having to mentally fight to either stay focused on the rehab, which is sometimes part of it, or stay focused on what you can do. Like, because it's annoying when you can't do some things, but you can do other things. And it's very, very easy to overdo those things that you are able to do and like injure yourself in another way, but that's just going to write you off completely. So you have to find a balance, and you do have to stay very mentally tough to do that. And so what would you say is like the hardest part about trying to get back from an injury?
I think, again, it's different for me, but the hardest injury it has been for me to come back into it was my injury last year with my back, because I had 6 weeks off, and because in that 6 weeks the doctor and physio told me don't do anything that hurts your back, and my back was quite bad, like it was hurting to walk at some times, so I wasn't doing it. It was hurting to stretch in certain positions. So I basically did nothing for that 6 weeks. So when I actually got back into the gym, obviously you can't just get back in and do everything, because my back is just going to flare up again there. It was really hard for me, especially because I knew I had Euros this year. I really wanted to get back, but I was so unfit after having 6 weeks of doing nothing. So the first thing of getting back fit whilst not hurting my back. And then when I was finally fit, after being in gymnastics, being back in the gym for a number of weeks, once I was back just jumping on fast track, maybe I'd have 2 weeks where I was jumping on fast track, just the lightest kind of impact, and I wasn't feeling anything. And then I'd suddenly feel my back again. I think the hardest thing would be on the way back, the small setbacks that continue to happen. Like with my back, it probably took me half a year to get back to where I was before, maybe longer than that. But I don't know, with hindsight, it's different, because I know that I've got back in the end. But just not understanding that the road back was going to be so challenging, because of my back injury in 2021, it was very much, I had the 6 weeks of rest on some pieces, and then I got back doing fast track and I never really felt pain with it. But it was different with this one, because the road back, it just wasn't perfect. And I thought, I'm going to have this back problem forever. But eventually, you do get to a point where it is all right. But you just don't realise it when you're going through the challenges.
Yeah, for sure. Like the thing is, where you are now and where you were however long it was ago, like if you look back, it seems like you're a different person now. You see how far you've actually come.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't remember all the nuances of how it actually took you to where you are now. And you know how you got there, you know how much you pushed through all of that sort of stuff, but you don't remember all the little things. So sometimes it's easy to forget that when you're getting like a new injury, and it's very easy to repeat history. It's very easy to
not have the new mindset. And just like take it for what it is.
Every injury is a new injury, but you can always learn from the past ones. Like for you, you've had 2 separate back injuries. They both took six weeks of like complete rest, basically. But one, you've had a pretty straight shot out of it, and the second one you didn't. And every injury is going to have a different sort of road out of it. Like my shoulder, I got it last year. I got it in like March, February last year, and it still flares up to this day. And we're way past that now, and it still will when this actually comes out, and it still will. I don't know however long, but it's just about managing what you've got and managing how much you're doing, and then eventually you'll actually be able to push through that sort of thing. And I think it's also quite hard because you will never really know when it's okay to push. It's knowing like,
and okay, you're kind of at a point where, especially with my back, and I'm sure with your shoulder as well, you're kind of like, right, I'm sick of this.
And you just try it, and then it just makes it worse. And then you end up giving yourself another injury, and it's like, it just, it's not.
Patience.
Patience is very, very important, and patience is also very hard to come by. Well, another thing is you have to accept that it's a part of the sport. Injuries are a part of gymnastics, part of any sport, really. And learning how to get through it is very important, but everyone's different. So giving specific advice is literally impossible.
Exactly.
Because everyone recovers differently, and everyone's road back will be differently because every injury is different. And
your bodies are different. So even if the injury is the same, how you're going to get back from it is different.
Exactly.
Like Zion had the same injury as me in his back. Well, the same injury. He would feel it in different places. And Zion had, I think he had like 20 weeks off or something in 2022. And it was the same with him about it took him a long time to get back. But when he did have that period of no injuries, he got up to the gymnastics, not even where he should be, because he can be better than what he was, but it was just gymnastics that you'd never seen from Zion before, because he'd never had the chance to see it from him, because he'd always had been injured around the competition. But I don't know.
It's impossible to give specific advice, but generally it's patience and it's knowing where the injury's at. Which is sometimes
and where your
very
body
hard.
is with it, like
But if you don't know where the injury's at, it's always a good idea to see physios, because they'll always know more about like the movements and stuff than you will. So that's definitely possible, but it's just about staying motivated, staying positive with it as well. Like staying motivated, to get through whatever it is you're doing and whatever rehab you're doing and stuff like that, but also staying motivated to do all the rest of your training.
And keep your goals as well. Don't lose sight of them, even though, because there's always going to be setbacks on the way. It's not going to be a smooth road.
There never is. No. Never is. Speaking from experience from both of us. It's never easy. I've never had a day in training where like something hasn't hurt. I've never had a competition where I've been fully fit. I don't think ever, at least.
I haven't. Well, I don't really remember.
No, I wouldn't like remember.
But especially maybe post lockdown, this is what I can really remember of my competitions strongly. No, there's always something like I get to the end of a high bar routine, forearms are a bit gone. I'm like, jeez. But and it's with everything really about. I can't remember what I was saying about. Not going to be setbacks. You're going to you can relate it to anything, short term, long term, like learning a skill. Learning skills, sometimes skills do just come to you, but it's not every skill is just going to come to you like this.
Yeah.
It's a process. And then big goals for me, going to the Olympics, or the 2-year period from my experience, because it's the biggest thing I've been through, from between Munich and Rimini. Luke said, which I hadn't even thought about, the time between Munich and Rimini, we had ups and we had downs, and there was a lot more downs than there were ups, but in the end, it was a good result. So I don't know, there's setbacks, but motivation is a big one, because if you have that, it's kind of like half the job's already done, which people had said that to me, and I never really realised it until I kind of, like I said, how I struggled after Rimini, because I always kind of had that motivation, but because I struggled a little bit, I kind of saw what they were saying. Like, if my head wasn't in it, with skills that are easy for me, you know, I couldn't do my Gauchevada, skill that I've been doing since I was 12. My body was perfectly fine, but just because my head, the slightest thing just wasn't in the right place, it just wouldn't happen. Like with struts, like with it can happen with any skill, like smallest mental blocks, just because of lack of motivation, I think. But yeah, once you get that, it kind of is a superpower, which I didn't realise, but I'm starting to realise now how big mindset is.
Yeah, like Luke said, gymnastics is what percentage?
He
like 10%
90,
physical, 90% mental.
Yeah, and I always same. Like I always thought.
Really? Yeah, really? It seems a lot more physical than it is mental.
Yeah.
Like having the physical strength to doing, having the physical capability.
Which you do need.
Which 100% you do need. It's very, very important. I'm not saying skip out on that.
No, yeah.
But having the mental capacity to be able to force yourself to do the skills, force yourself to train so hard, force yourself to be able to learn the skills, but also having like the right mentality in terms of competing, in terms of training, in terms of...
It can relate to so many different things.
100%, yeah.
Like with nerves, like with... Yeah, like you said, like you covered. Dealing with setbacks. Dealing with when the good times are happening, like staying in the right zone type of thing.
Staying level as well.
Yeah.
Like, don't go too high on the ups, because then you'll just come down so hard. So it's about staying as level as you can be, no matter what's happening to you. Because the good times will come, as long as you put the effort in, put the work in, it will come. You just need to
and
make
there is going to be bad times, but yeah, like you said about being level.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Understand that it's part of the process.
Yeah. All times pass, good and bad.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up talking to Luke and Lee on this podcast as well, to see what sort of what their takes on all of this stuff are.
Yeah.
Like about the gymnastics itself, and also about like what they can do to help gymnasts. I've never really heard it.
No, yeah.
I think it would just be nice to hear, honestly. Exactly. Like I'm curious what they think their role is in our development. Yeah, what they think.
They have seen us since... Luke's been with me since I was... Did Luke join in 2013 as well?
Yeah, he joined at the same time as me.
Since I was 6, yeah.
Since I was 8.
Yeah. It's crazy to think, really.
Yeah, it's been 11 years. It's been most of both of our lives.
Yeah.
With our coach.
It's crazy. And Lee's been there since I was 3. But Lee's... Obviously, well, he has seen me, but it's not as big because he's not my coach. Yeah, of course. Yeah, like you think about how much they actually do though. They don't just coach us. That's what I think Luke's got to like. It's good because obviously sometimes Luke's gonna get on my nerves. Like
like the thing is, if you spend that much time with a person, at some point they are going to get on your nerves.
Yeah.
Like there's no two ways about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, certain things he says, certain things he does, but I think all in all, I think it is helpful to have a coach like Luke, because like you said earlier about having the rest outside the gym, but the focus that you have inside the gym, you don't get that from certain other gymnasts, and I think that's partly because of the coach. And when we were younger, and even now, you kind of think, jeez, like, come on, like, Luke, why are you being so harsh? But it is helpful, and like when we're going through like struggling in the gym type of thing, or even outside the gym a little bit, I think there's a lot of coaches who just be like, why are you being so stupid? But Luke does talk to us, which it does help.
Yeah.
Build with, as a coach, but also building the bond with the gymnast as well, which is a big thing.
Yeah. Like I said, with anyone, you're going to like not agree at some points. Mm-hmm. And when he's that invested in what we do and that invested in our development, our growth and all that sort of stuff and our careers in gymnastics, it's going to you're going to have some like, you're going to have differing opinions on some things because it's your life, but it's also A, his job, and B, he's devoted so much time to each individual gymnast that he's going to like be passionate about it. Yeah. And he's going to have some opinions. When they differ, they're going to like clash. Which is
unavoidable.
It's unavoidable. But yes, it's our sport and it's our journeys that we're taking. But having that guidance and having that extra opinion is a bit of a sanity check, and it does help a lot. Yeah. Because he'll say things that you never really thought of before.
Yeah.
He'll say things that you're like, maybe I should be doing that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And it is very helpful to have that. No matter whether it does sometimes get on your nerves or not. Yeah. It's the beauty of other people, I guess. Because they give differing opinions, but sometimes they're right.
You kind of need it. Yeah. It's our lives, but Luke's devoted so much of his life into our lives. That's why when I was thinking about career choices, I don't know, coaching isn't off the cards, because I still think coaching would be interesting. It's something that I have so much of an interest in. But I think, imagine you were a coach and you'd spent 10 years with a gymnast and then they just turn around and say, I'm not doing this anymore. There's so much time wasted in your life.
100%.
That's just gone like that.
And that is a risk.
Yeah. And it's something that's going to happen.
And it is something that's going to happen, Yeah. Like, sometimes they'll just up and leave. They'll like, not even like, say, I'm going to quit completely. They'll just go to another club or something. And that's completely fine. But yes, it's his job, but he does treat it as more of like a passion project. It is something that
which you do need.
100% in any job, really. Yeah. If you really want it, then you're gonna be doing a better job of it. Yeah. And I think he does that really well. But I think it is a bit of an issue when like something like either not doing what he says, just going off doing your own thing, just up and leaving. Like
that's why the two things about why coaching would just like kill me, that like what I said and like what you said about if you're trying to make a coaching point and then they just
say no.
No, not even they say no, but they don't change it, and they don't change it for like years on end. And like, I'm guilty of it. There's some things that
all are,
obviously, because there's fear. You don't know how to change the thing, but you don't see it through a coach's eye. But imagine you just telling someone to do this thing, like, trying to drill it into them constantly, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Especially for like younger gymnasts, it would just, I don't know, it would annoy me so much.
Oh, for sure it would.
Yeah.
Like constantly saying them to do this one thing and it would make it so much better.
And it seems so easy in your eyes as well.
Yeah. But this is also not pointing fingers at the gymnasts.
No,
because
exactly.
it is sometimes really hard and you have no idea why.
And it's out of your comfort zone. It's something that you've never, like you said, you don't have the kinesthetic field at all, so you don't know what to expect. It's like me trying Ginga. I was just like, and you were saying when you were doing it, I was like, well, no, before you started doing it, I don't know how it would feel.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well,
I'd probably be fine. And then you tried it, and it was like, no.
Yeah, I was like, because I hadn't put any actual thought into it, I'd be like, surely it'd be fine. It would just be like, it looks so easy.
Yeah.
And then when Luke was like, all right, actually do it, I was still like, fine. And then I got on the bar and I was actually trying to go for it and I was like, oh my God, what is...
Yeah, first one I did, I twisted so early. Went so far away. I literally did a Pike Arabian.
So I did I did the opposite on all of my ones. I basically did a top back, saw the foam and I was like, after basically landing underneath the rings as well.
Yeah, it was but like the thing is, first try is always going to be a bit weird.
Yeah.
And it's always not going to go great unless you're someone who like gets every skill ridiculously quick.
Yeah.
I mean, not every skill, but he gets like most of his skills. I think he gets pretty quick. And some people
it depends what type of skill.
True.
Like pommels, it's not that quick as I am.
He's not that quick, but he still gets them eventually. If he puts the time and effort into it, he will get it. I think that is good because he could be really good on pommel.
Yeah, no, you don't expect it because of the body type, but
it's like Ray.
Yeah,
like he could be really good on pommel. Like he can do like some insane skills.
Yeah,
he just doesn't come into the gym.
Someone's that probably.
Yeah.
You kind of wish you were in other people's positions, but you don't know what they're...
Exactly.
Because you haven't been through what they've been through, like what they're feeling with the body. You don't know what problems they face, but you just see from the outside and you're just like, how can you do that? But
you can never be completely empathetic towards someone because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know where they're actually at. You don't know where they're at with other things.
Yeah.
Like everything added together makes them and it's impossible to then wish yourself to be in that position because you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, with Zion, I think you see it as how's he just done a back up straight playing specialties.
Yeah.
But with like that comes with so many injuries, like what's it? And so there's certain body types that aren't know play into certain strengths, which you wish you had like Lion's body for rings, but you want to be like the best pommel worker in the world. It's like you can't have everything. You just need to make do with what you've got, type of thing.
100%. Yeah.
Which can get you far, but you just need to work hard, have the right mindset. I think top 2 tips.
Thank you for listening to the Game of Gymnastics podcast. I hope you'll join me and listen into the next one. I will catch you soon. Peace.